these teams. However, for Notre Dame now, there is a pride and a path component attached to this thing. This was the reason why you got left out of the playoff last year. And Notre Dame, famously, number one in returning production from last season. Translation, a lot of dudes.
What it do, my good people? Welcome to another episode of Dynasty Reaction, where we talk everything Miami Hurricanes football. And today, we're talking Notre Dame versus Miami, probably the most anticipated football game of the season. Man, I got my man JD, who I think is a low-key Miami Hurricane fan. He's going to break down the upcoming game, and then I'm going to get back into it with my commentary. Let's get it.
Y'all, I would not be shocked if when Miami and Notre Dame play again, that's a college football playoff tiebreaker game here in 2026. Let's rewind the clock for those that are forgetting how last season went for the Fighting Irish and the Canes, respectively. These two teams opened up with each other on a Sunday of week one. All right, so Miami ends up getting a signature kind of win that Mario Cristobal and the boys had been, it felt like, searching for a little bit there. But we saw Notre Dame lose that game by 3 points. We say, okay, it's a tough loss, but Notre Dame's still a really good football team. So good, in fact, that for the majority of the season, up until Selection Sunday, the College Football Playoff Committee had Notre Dame in front of Miami. But then on Selection Sunday, we're all like, oh, wait a second, they got the same record? Oh, these teams played when they played week one? That's right, they did play. Miami won that game, right? Miami in over Notre Dame.
Right.
I don't know how this season's going.
Which was the correct move. A lot of Notre Dame fans was making noise about it, but the correct move was putting Miami into that position. Miami beat Notre Dame week one.
To unfold, right now at BetMGM breakdown for you now. Notre Dame is minus 700 to make the college football playoff. Translation, you don't make much if you bet Notre Dame making the playoff. Miami minus 300.
Right.
Again, you actually don't make a lot if you were to bet Miami to make the college football playoff. But when these teams meet in November, there is a world now where this is once again a college football playoff tiebreaker game. Not predicting it, but it would not shock me at all. Let's start here. Both these teams, while their schedule isn't difficult, there are still losable games on the schedule. Losable games. For Notre Dame, you're at BYU.
Right.
Not easy. You host SMU after Miami a little bit later in your schedule. Miami, you still got to go to Clemson. You still play Pitt. You still play Virginia Tech. Anyone just counting out James Franklin and the boys' first year in Blacksburg? I don't think so. Now, again, the game's in Hard Rock, so maybe you feel a little bit better about that one. But the point remains the same. I don't think it is just a foregone conclusion that both teams are undefeated when they play each other. Now, if they are, this whole point probably is moot, and a one-loss Notre Dame or a one-loss Miami still makes the college football playoff, even if they don't end up.
He's absolutely correct. If Notre Dame and Miami both are undefeated going into that game, unless one of those teams get utterly destroyed, whoever loses that game still going to have a direct path to the college football playoffs.
Winning the ACC. But where this gets interesting is if one of these teams finds themselves finishing the season sitting there at 10-2.
Right.
Especially interesting for Miami if they're 10-2 and they're not ACC champs. More on that later. But I don't think we can, as a college football public, sit here in the month of June and keep saying the same thing. Well, Miami, easy schedule. Notre Dame, easy schedule. You can't say easy schedule and then also say that they're in, no question about it, at 10-2.
Right.
I don't think that computes. Also worth noting here, Notre Dame doesn't play USC this year. Hurts my heart, hurts your heart if you're a college football fan. I think even both sides of that rivalry agree that rivalry should be happening. I digress. But if Notre Dame were to beat USC and finish 10-2, and 10-2 looks a little bit better, right? Say what you want about what USC hasn't been since Lincoln Riley's been there. I think they're going to be pretty good this year. Won 9 games last year. Neither here nor there. There were a couple of 10 teams.
Okay, we're going to stop it right there because he's getting a little bit on USC, and this is a Miami channel. And before I get out of here, let's read a little bit. It says, as of June 2026, odds makers favor Notre Dame to win the highly anticipated November 7, 2026 matchup against the Miami Hurricanes. Early betting lines released by Sports Books place the Fighting Irish as a 6.5 to 7-point home favorite in South Bend. On the money line, Notre Dame opened around a negative 255, while Miami stands as a plus 6.5 to plus 7 underdog. And man, I cannot wait for that matchup. I think that's going to be the game of the year. I think both teams are going to be undefeated, so it's not going to really even matter if either team loses the game. I think it's going to be a close game, and whoever loses that game still is going to end up with one loss to a highly ranked football team. So they still going to have a direct path into the college football playoff. Now, me, honestly, it's early, so I really haven't got a chance to break down Notre Dame, but I love what we have going into South Bend. We have an experienced ball club with an experienced quarterback who doesn't make turnovers, with a real playmaker in Malachi Tony, with a defense that's loaded with five-star recruits. So I think we're going to do just fine. We're going to see how the season play out. We're going to see all the games leading up to that Notre Dame, but I highly expect us to be undefeated. I expect, just looking at Notre Dame's schedule, with the talent they have, with the returning starters they have, especially at quarterback. I seen the highlight. They got a little number 6 on their team. This little kid is amazing. So I expect Notre Dame to be undefeated. I expect Miami to be undefeated. And it's going to be a great matchup November 7th. And I'm going to be tuned in. But hey, that's just my opinion. This is the Dynasty Reaction Network. And make sure you like, subscribe, share, and please leave all comments below. And never forget, it's all about the youth.